Hi, I'm Pippi Peterson. Thanks so much for tuning into my YouTube videos. Before I moved into my RV, I was living in apartments and rented rooms. I was really ready to have my own place, but I wasn't anywhere financially capable to buy a home. But I still dreamed of owning my own home, owning my own land, and just somewhere that I could call my own. After admiring and frequently following news on alternative living, I decided to buy a used RV. Almost through my first year sojourn, I'd like to enlighten you on what I find to be the benefits and the challenges of living in my RV. Here are the pros. Let's start with the basics. I own my own home. Forget the adjectives and the yeah buts. I own my own home and I have no mortgage and no debt. Right now, I'm living in the southwest of the US and my bills are less than $500 a month. Sometimes they're less than $400 a month. That includes electric, Wi-Fi, sewage, water, and rent. When I was living in Southern California, I was paying less than $800 a month, and I was only 15 minutes driving from the beach. RV living tends to be cheaper. I can move anywhere, anytime. If a big disaster strikes, I can just roll on out, granted my battery is charged. In SoCal, I felt earthquakes weekly, and I never flinched at the thought of structural damage to my home. As a full-time RVer, I can boondock, I can camp daily in different places, or stay a while and enjoy some of the amenities that RV parks have to offer. I can even change spots or positions within an RV park in case I find the morning sun is too bright in my window. Another cool thing, I can even move across state or across the country and never have to pack or unpack. I have no leases, I don't share any walls with noisy neighbors, and I can redecorate and renovate to my heart's content. RV parks tend to have less rules and restrictions than apartment complexes, as well as they usually have large yards or patio spaces, and compared to apartments that I've been in previously, I have a lot more storage now than I ever did. Life in my RV, I find myself consuming less, I'm more efficient with my needs, belongings, and space, and I'm saving a ton of money.
Now that's sticking it to the man.
But just as every story has another side, so does full-time living in an RV. Let's start with the most obvious one.
Space!
Just because of the tighter dimensions, it's a lot easier to get cabin fever. However, I've also found it to be pretty comfy cozy at times too. I do yoga and belly dance, and practicing at home is much more restricted in my RV. The next biggest downside for me is temperature regulation. When it's hot outside, it's hot inside. When it's cold outside, it's cold inside. In an RV, not only can you expect to maintain the living quarters and plumbing such as you would in a traditional home, but you also have the added responsibility of maintaining the engine as well as keeping the vehicle registration up to date. Contrast that to a trailer, which still needs to be maintained and registered, but there's no engine parts to keep up with. Depending on your personal preferences, values, priorities, and current circumstances, you may have more or less pros and cons to RV living. However, I encourage you to follow your excitement, whether it's cutting ties and sailing the high seas, taking off in a motorhome, or buying property. Life's too short to not follow your heart. Thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for upcoming videos.